I hate Bellona.
I mean, you should. She's really, really good, and she'll ruin your life. Awesome to the max, who practices everything, showed exactly the strength of the character. But will he be able to do it in Game 3? We're going to be jumping right in. No breaks. I hate breaks. P's and B's.
I mean, we're already like 6 games deep into this day. 7 games deep
P's
now.
and B's.
P's and B's. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not saying it, right?
You're not doing it.
Where are the P's and B's?
No, man, stop.
Nah, I know.
Stop.
I give up. So we'll see if we're going to have any targeted bans here, or if we're going to stick with the standard. Hun Bat's banned out by enemy esports, so they don't want Uknik to deal with it. He got it the first 2 games. They're just like, you're doing too good with it. Sylvanas banned out. No surprise there. If you're not first pick, you're banning Sylvanas. He's just too much to deal with in lane. Hasn't really hit with the knockback nerfs, and it's going to be Athena also. So very, very standard bans coming out, really.
Final ban coming out here for Boogaloo. 3rd game in a row where enemy's going to have bottom side, and yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah, you don't want that happening.
Ozzy's like, I'm not dealing with this.
You know, it's funny because something will get banned a whole bunch, and they'll go, it's not that good, man. We can let it through. We can let it through. And then it goes through, and you're like, we made a mistake.
Serqet, though, allowed through. First Serqet we're going to see the day, going to be first picked by enemy esports, and Soulshiner is actually very good with this god.
Soulshiner is just very good with any god that allows him to rotate around the map and just kill people unexpectedly.
Yeah, and then Xbalanque Bakasura. So Ozzy going back to that Bakasura that he did so well with in Game 1. That's going to be interesting. And then Xbalanque seems to be highly touted for both these teams. They really like that late game presence that he offers, especially if they're able to get him ahead in lane. It's probably going to be a mid laner here, whatever Jerby wants. Poseidon's open, most notably, although we haven't really seen that picked up or banned on either side. It's going to be Ice's early game.
He's like, I'm not being shown up by Cyclone Spin. I'm playing a different god every game.
Early game.
Yeah, really
early game. This is 100%. They want the level 5 mid harpy or the 3-minute and 6-minute mid harpy fights to go their way. They want to look for heavy invades and maybe even a kill before minions spawn.
All right, so we're going into the final pick here in Phase 1, and that's going to be Unique's Thor. Rather, maybe not too unique itself. Pretty standard play.
It's Uknik.
It's unique.
It's Uknik.
The K is silent, the first one.
I talked to him before. He's fine with it. Maybe.
He's
On her banned out once again by Boogaloo. So I believe both these teams have banned On her. And then they're going to take away Chris Pocket's Geb.
Very smart.
Yes. So that seems to be his premier god. He didn't have the best showing. A couple of missed Cataclysms last game.
In Season 1, Chris Pocket, his best character, in my opinion, was Athena, which was his downfall because Athena in Season 1 was just poo-poo. Not very good. She was, nah, man, I'm not there. But no, he's going to skip it. Athena just doesn't get picked today. Oh, she was banned. I'm sorry. Ares gets picked.
Oh, I forgot.
Hello? This is your fault.
This is not my fault.
You're supposed to be on it.
I'm not on it. It looks like Kuang. Kuang actually really good against tanks, but it's really over sustained time, right? So Kuang will kill Ares, but the question is, can he kill him in time before no escape goes off?
Kuang's just going to kill everything. Can I just give a shout out to Cyclone Spin just for ruining my ranked games and my regular games all week? Because I just constantly fight Kuang, and they're like, Wildstorm, 300 damage at level 9. I'm like, all right.
So they've also picked up the ROM for a little bit of late game presence, right?
Like it.
I almost would have liked to see them full commit for early and pick up the Uller, right? Because at that point, Uller still works late game, right? He may not be as strong as ROM, but he's really good. And Uller stunning out players in the mid and early game is really important to setting stuff up, especially with all the stuns they already have. Just tacking on another on top of it, I think, would have been important. But it's going to be Chronos picked up for the mid lane here. Jiminy Glick bringing out one of his third god. I keep saying it's one of the gods he's known for, but he is really known for these offbeat mid laners.
Glick is known for Jigglypuff.
What?
That's who he played in Smash.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Smite or Smash? I can't tell.
We'll find out in 24 seconds.
I'm guessing we're gonna load into a Conquest map. That's just a guess though. I'm throwing it out there. I don't think.
No items.
Are we going to FD?
Box only. Final destination.
But what happened to Jigglypuff?
Oh crap.
You ruined it.
I backed myself into a corner on that one. Oh god, this is gonna be the longest 7 seconds of my life.
So, like I said, early game, right? Serqet, Isis, Bacchus, they need to look for an early fight. I think they should just invade, right? Just straight off the mark, Isis stun, belly flop, and then Serqet taunt or Deathbane, depending if they're CC'd enough, is going to be really important. And we do see them grouping up. It may just be a safe ward, though.
So, starting out, I don't know. I don't think they're going to go for the same thing. You can't invade the same way twice in a row. They're not Denial Esports.
Hey, Denial does it every game.
Right. And
they're an SPL team. They're number 4. Enemy was number 5.
That's fair. You're right.
Or 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh, they were 6.
And they're looking for it too, right? I think I don't know if they're going to do the same invade, but what they're doing is definitely looking for this Ares to try and ward, and they're going to fight him. They might. I don't think they spotted out Jerby there.
Why would you want to invade on Ares?
If he misses his chain, he does nothing.
Oh, he's
right?
hot garbage. But if he hits that chain, God help you.
Rolling the dice on if Chris Pocket can hit it, I guess. But even
real quick, production, can we hover onto Jerby? Let's see if he's taken a skill yet.
He hasn't decided. Yeah, no. There's no reason to decide here. You're going to want the Wing Gust if you want to clear, but if they elect to fight or if they're in a position to fight, they're going to grab. And you know what's big here is they're actually taking a different route.
Wait. Chris Pocket hasn't chosen a skill. Like, they're...
All right.
I mean...
Like, look, hold on. One thing I want to point out. Look at this ward, right? They're expecting them to invade from the right side. They warded it out, but they're invading from the left side this time, and they see it, though. They see it this time.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Jerby's also taking a lot of damage.
He's the chain.
That's first blood. It's guaranteed first blood. Sit down, son. Back to the base. No more invades.
And it's on Chronos, right? So Chronos, his matchup. Chronos has... not the greatest laning phase. It's okay, but he's really there for late game. Isis, on the other hand, succeeds at the early game. I really like this matchup now, especially considering that Chronos got that first blood. He's going to be able to time stop out slow, whatever the stun is. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. He's going to be able to stun out Wing Gust when it comes down to it, and that's going to be important for this matchup, especially now that he can play aggressive because of his early kill.
Here comes... hello?
I think they could have looked for a kill there.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing all kinds of blinkies for, but they're going real fast. I mean, real fast through that clear. Bottom left? Bottom left. Right side, though. Here comes that Quang. Awesome to the max, laying waste to Uzi there. Soulshiner throwing some damage down, but taking some himself.
That red is still up, too. They have to recognize that, too. I think, is the hog up? No, it's 20 more seconds, so it may not be the best decision, right? But Jerby's going to rotate in here. He's not really going to be able to do anything.
Walk away, Jerbs.
Soulshiner, don't be aggressive here. It could be bad for him. Actually, they're going to go on 2 different targets and get poked out, so a small win for enemy.
I don't know. I mean, they still lost their back camps, didn't gain anything for it, and Jerby, I think, lost a creep in the mid lane. So, no, he lost 2 creeps. So, no, not a win. That was a huge loss there for Jerby.
Uknik is already level 4 at 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Unique.
It's Uknik. I'm not going to say anything else. Sorry.
Pussy. This Wild Storm poke, I mean, you play on the other side of the map, right? It's the most frustrating thing in the game right now. It's just like you're hanging out, and it's just like this. It's like he's Chang'e. He just pokes you for free.
Okay, except he has better mobility, so he can get away from ganks, right? With the illusion.
But man, does he run out of mana quick.
Yeah, and that's what we saw. Cyclotespin is Cyclotespin never used the teleport unless he knew the poke was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So that's gonna be key if he can manage his mana well enough, and he's probably gonna have to back here soon. Now these mid harpies, they're gonna be interesting, right? Can Soulshiner hit 5? Because Jerby's definitely not gonna be able to.
Well, yeah, Jerby's just now hitting 3. I mean, he might hit 4 off this wave. I don't think so. But Soulshiner's pretty close.
Yeah, Soulshiner should be able to hit 5 before the mid camps. He's gonna have to go and take these back camps. But do they still want to fight, right? Into a Chronos Thor?
Right. So
and Ares?
If they manage to get the full combo off on Thor, there's a possibility. But, I mean, Chronos is just going to rewind and go, no.
Oh, but Uzi's also rotating, right? So they're not going to be able to fight this at all. And it's going to be a 5-man rotation to the opposite mid-harpies, though, for Boogaloo.
Have you ever talked to Soulshiner? Comms?
Yeah.
So did you hear his voice in your head go, oh, man, Bakasura is here. Like, just forget it.
I can see it now. Uknik's up in the air, though. They're going to look for Soulshiner here. Oh, he has no beads.
Did he use his ambush, too? See you later. That's a double kill. 1 for Unique, 1 for Jiminy Glick, and 2 beautiful assists for Mr. Chris Pocket.
Well, you know, he didn't have the best game last time, but he's showing up that he can play Ares, right? And that was huge. No actives online yet for either of those players. They knew that. And he didn't even blink in, right? He just walked in and did that? He just walked in and did that.
It wasn't even a walk. I mean, he doesn't have boots yet. He waddled in there like, hey, guys. Gonna chain you guys up. Thank you for using your ambush. Your only escape. See you later. Double kill 3 now. Right now for Boogaloo. And where they were a kill and or maybe 2 kills up before and they had like 300 gold, this time they're taking their lead. 1,300 gold, 2,000 experience. And the only difference here is that Awesome kind of controlling Bakasura
still not 5
right now.
after that mid-wave. He is so far behind.
He's level 4?
Yeah, he needs about 1 more creep, maybe 2. It's 1 more creep until 5. But at the same point, right? He didn't buy any actives when he died there.
Do you? Well, I'm sorry. No, just refresh my memory a bit, because I'm a bit hazy. Was Glick this far behind off of that invade? I mean, when Glick,
no.
I mean, Glick was still kind of holding his own a little bit.
He hit level 5 at about 4 minutes. I remember it being late, but it was about 4 minutes. And Jerby's going to hit it just a little bit later, but Jerby's also died twice, right? Glick only died. He actually just got invaded, right? He didn't die.
He didn't die in the very beginning, no.
So that's really, like, it would be expected for Jerby to be, maybe not this far behind, but behind, right? And if they take note that he doesn't have any actives, you're definitely going to see Ares come back to his lane when that ultimate is up. And it's up now.
Chronos with that Doom Orb, though. Things are going to get nasty. Soulshiner, can he chase the jump, though? Wow, using a lot there. Wildstorm's going to miss. But they should be able to clean this one up.
There it is. Yep, that's going to secure the kill there. Great pick, I think. That's important, right? Getting Awesome to the max ahead. But there's a gank in mid. We actually see Uknik land right on Jerby. And oh, he hits it with the back end.
I can't believe he got that kill.
I was scared for Uknik.
Remember, the back swing doesn't do that much damage unless you hit the front swing.
Oh, for sure.
So for him to get that kill was a little bit of lucky.
And Matty Pocket...
You have no CC. Immunity. Intoxicate... He's
going to die.
Wow. I mean, that was fast.
There's nothing he could do there, right? And continued abuse out of Chris Pocket, right? He got an early assist, and then he gets 2 more assists in these mid fights. And this early game team comp that enemy drafted is not looking very early game right now.
All right, so Jerby and Soulshine are moving forward in the mid lane. The two of them got to try to pull together and get Jerby into this game because, I mean, you look at the board. They have Bacchus, who does a decent amount of magic damage, right? They have Quang doing some magic damage, and then they have Isis also doing magic damage. They have 3 people on this team doing magic, and if Jerby gets shut down and they build defense against Quang, it's going to be all up to Rama because right now Soulshiner's not big enough.
Right, and Chris Pocket taking a lot. He's actually going to fall there at Bronx Bomber, hitting that nice Astral Barrage from across the map.
That was greed. I mean, 100%. Why are they going for both camps? I mean, they didn't need both camps. They're going to give up their support. They'll get both camps, but honestly, losing their support for it when Gold Fury is available is very, very risky.
Yeah, and Quang once again rotating. Awesome to the max realizes that his team is behind. It's his job to be a part of these fights and force Uzzy Wuzzy to stay in lane.
Do you see how much damage that Wildstorm just did to Unique? I mean, it's incredible how much damage this move does. 5-second cooldown, applies on hit effects, and as those rings start to come online, expect that we're going to see Telkine's and Demonic Grip both get built, which is one of my favorite things. I love Telkine's ring.
It's interesting, right? You need to build it early because it's not as effective late game. Sobek.
I mean, you have to auto-attack for your passive, right? It makes sense. Come on.
I'm just not going to respond.
All right, we're doing other things now. Back to the solo lane, where Quang forced to jump away there. We're going to see their Regurgitate. Look at that damage. Look at that.
His ult was used, so Uzzy Wuzzy lost his opportunity to get a kill there. Awesome to the max. It looks like was just able to pour it out. Beads are not on cooldown, so he was just able to walk out of that fight there. Isis still, though, 2 levels behind Jiminy Glick.
And Glick with no deaths and how many stacks?
3 kills and 34 stacks on Doom Orb. XP per minute. Quang actually leading the way, but we're going to see a gank onto the Awesome. Is he going to... Oh, nice auto attack.
Unique looking real strong this game.
Looking great.
You know, I said maybe his Thor very textbook, and so far that's what it's been. He's ganking at the right times. He's rotating beautifully. He's covering the options. He's diving towers, getting kills.
Right,
and just being a nuisance, right? That's what Thor does.
3-0-2. He's been a part of every single kill except that first blood. And Uknik now looking for Jerby, who's rotated in. Does Jerby have any actives available to him? Yes, he has beads, but the stun's going to miss, so they're not going to be able to go on him. Ooh. Double tap, though.
Yeah.
I think even Uknik was surprised. You saw him pour it in late. He's like, wait, I hit that? Because that's like a free hand. Free hand double taps are one of the harder things to hit, especially at that range.
Man, it's insane how many times we had to see that move get buffed to this point, and it's still so hard to hit. But I love the risk versus reward factor about it. But jumping in here, Chris Pocket not going to get the knock-up. Flames immune to all knock-up and knock-back effects right there. Very surprised to see Chris not go for the counter-initiate there. But his ultimate wasn't up, right? They're going to play the safe route, considering Vishims is down as well. So safety over the aggression at this point. But Glick's coming in here. Bronx Bombers look scared and is going to be forced to back. This, to me, is looking kind of gold-like.
What? So right now, Jerby's actually helping with speed, while Awesome to the max clears the mid-wave. This is not very efficient coming out from their team.
I mean, I guess it depends on the positioning.
Okay.
If Jerby was coming back to base and Awesome had the rotation and the creeps were already dying, there's potential there. But realistically, Jerby needs to get every point of experience that he can, or he's going to fall even farther behind. I mean, already... I mean, look at the build.
1K gold. He's almost 1K gold behind.
Doesn't have boots yet.
At 9 minutes. Like you said, doesn't have boots. Was forced into the beads, basically, because of how much rotations were coming out from Chris Pocket.
Do you notice that when he teleported there, he immediately blew up the decoy?
Yes.
You have to do it. For everyone at home who's looking to play Ao Kuang, one of the big things is if you teleport out away from somebody and they're not going to catch you immediately. It doesn't
go on cooldown.
Right. It doesn't go on cooldown until you blow up that teleport. Plus, why let them walk out of it and not take the damage? It's a small amount.
Yeah, there's some more play to that, but it looks like there's going to be aggression in the mid. Chris Pocket once again looking for those kills. He has Blink available, and Uknik was looking for the fight too, but it was just, enemy Esports recognized it and backed off in time.
Which allowed Unique to cover the mid camps. That was a beautiful play. I love the way that they pulled that off. 2-6 right now. Boogaloo still with a beautiful lead at this point. Looking about almost 2,000 gold, 1,700 gold plus 4,300 experience. The only real issue here is that Uzi this time is not massively ahead of Awesome to the max. In fact, Awesome with a very small advantage in experience.
Yeah, and Vedi, I'm just out poking Bronx at this point, right? Rom needs to get online late game, but at the same time, you also want Xbalanque online. I think Xbalanque and Rom are very close to being about the same equal level. Like, when you go late game, these are the two guys you want. They hit harder than anyone. They have steroids, at least on... Rom's side to match up to the passive coming out from Xbalanque.
So now we're going to go back to Ao Kuang a little bit and talk about the fact that this character is pretty unique because,
yes,
like Serqet, will do very well if he's ahead, but only really if his team's ahead as well.
I think the biggest thing here is the best counter to Ao Kuang is AoE abilities because he's so squishy and he has to be in there, right? But actually, Uknik gonna take a ton of damage. That is bad.
Don't bring it over there!
Yeah, and you see him walking away from his team. Great decision making. Chris Pocket now using his ult, but they're gonna go straight into an Ice Assault on top.
Oh, look at the damage coming through to Matty Pocket. Chris Pocket going down first. Enemy looking to close this one out. Glick getting very, very low and will be closed out as well. Triple kill here for Bronx Bombers, but we're gonna try to turn it around. Vidium throwing out the Darkest of Nights. Awesome to the max, getting closer, and we're gonna see a quadra kill come out from Bronx as they turn their sights to the Gold Fury.
No. Bronx is like, I'm going to kill Uzi. I want the... No, he backed off there. Uzi doesn't have ult, so I don't know if that was called out properly, but now Bronx is actually going to be looking for this kill.
The cripple was fantastic right there. Uzi jumped in the wrong direction. Can Bronx find it? No, Soulshiner didn't follow up as well, even with the double poison activation. He's going to get away just barely, but that was a really good swing. Getting Rama up to 5 kills instantaneously, putting him 1,000 gold ahead of Xbalanque.
Yeah, I mean, they were dead even right until that point. That is a huge swing, and now we take a look at the graphs. 3,200 experience in favor of Boogaloo, and still an 800 gold lead, right? So the lead they had earned is now basically negated, and one team fight.
Chris Pocket trying to walk away from that one. You see him keeping the flames up. Instead of canceling it and putting on the cooldown faster, he keeps them up to make sure that if Bacchus jumps in, he's not going to get hit by that knockup, only taking the damage and not the CCs. So smart play there, but still losing control, it looks like, of the vision, which now once again belongs to enemy.
We have a fight going on. Awesome to the max versus Uzi Wuzzy, but Uzi doesn't have...
I thought he was going in.
I don't think Awesome to the max knew that his ult was still down, right? If he knows Regurgitate is down there, there's nothing you can do. As Matty Pocket's just going to get picked up there. Chain's doing way too much damage, but Jiminy Glick returns with a solo kill onto Jerby there, picking him out on the rotation.
Wow, 2 big kills. Bronx Bomber's going to take to the sky, looking for Chris. Going to find 2. Can he find the 3rd? No. The support will live, which means Gold Fury remains in danger as Glick pushes away 2. The level 13 mid laner able to put enough fear in that Rama.
Yeah, Jiminy Glick's going to pull Gold Fury, but he's not electing to do it.
Yeah, they're going to back off here, which is smart. Chris is nowhere near this, and they got to make sure they have that hand 3. Awesome to the max, barely escaping a stun, which was slightly off the mark there. Unique looking to close out the solo laner, who has rotated once again to cover Jerby's lane.
Yeah, Uzi Wuzzy getting some solo farm. Awesome to the max, I believe, has been out farming Uzi Wuzzy pretty well, but Awesome to the max has also been forced to rotate into fights where he doesn't really do anything because the fights have already happened, just to cover the lane and make sure that mid tower doesn't go down.
Well, he also keeps his solo lane tower alive as he rotates back very quickly, thanks to the fact that the warder decoy is going to make sure he can move around the map just a tad bit faster. We're 14 minutes deep here. Gold Fury still available. So far, I don't think we've had a Gold Fury this game.
No, not yet. They've been kind of around it, but nothing really taken. And it looks like Awesome might get ganked. We see Uknik in the area, no. But they see Uknik in right lane, and instantly, enemy Esports elects to go for the Gold Fury.
Oh, Chris Pocket's going to try to find a way in. Cobra's Kiss on cooldown, but I think this one's going to be all sheet. No, he blinks in. He's going to find, yeah, Matty Pocket doesn't have a way out. They're trying to utilize that circle of protection, which does get used well, but Jerby only having it at level 2, not going to have a lot of pressure. Matty's going to be able to get out of there, but just barely as Jerby tries to
goes back.
Fight.
It takes a ton of poke. He's going to Aegis, but that's actually going to keep him in place, and there was no... He might have been able to go...
Nope.
No, actually, it was the increased range coming out from the Xbalanque autos. Going to secure that kill, and now Gold Fury's pull. Awesome's coming in, but who's he going to go on?
He's looking for anyone at this point, but it's taken way too long. He gets baited out, and no one from his team follows up. Bronx took to the skies, but too little, too late, and what seemed like a decent comeback brewing for enemy Esports gets shoved down the drain. Boogaloo takes the Gold Fury, and a free 2 kills on top.
Yeah, and then right now, Jerby is 4 levels behind Jiminy. Isis, who exceeds at this early game.
Right.
Chronos, who exceeds at the late game. You just can't do that. You can't allow the Chronos to get to late game while you're still behind.
Speaking of rings, Telkines is up, right? We got a demonic grip brewing on the left side.
Yep.
Right side, we have another one coming out from Chronos, and if there's someone to be feared in the late game, it's Chronos. Any of you who have played Joust, I think at a platinum level or higher in terms of elo, know the fear of late game Chronos. God forbid he gets ahead, hits that 2, and it lands in the 4th quadrant. You will feel the pain.
Oh, yeah. And his tower push also is really incredible. They're going to have a ton of objective pushing power. So even if they don't want to... If they get ahead enough to where they're forcing objectives, forcing these towers, and they don't want to fight, they can elect not to, right? They can just have Chronos and have Vedium there on that Xbalanque, just poke at it, and the towers are going to fall in a couple seconds.
Boogaloo now almost a little over 5K ahead right now, which is great for them at this stage. Enemy Esports looks a little frustrated at this point. Matty Pocket has been unable to find anything. Not really sure why the Bacchus was picked up so early in the fight, but the Ares pick has been beautiful. Chris Pocket has abused the fact that Bacchus has no way out, right? And take a look at the actives. He's left his second active slot open, talking about Matty. So he doesn't really need Blink. Could be Shell, could be Weakening. At this point, I'm kind of thinking he needs to pick Beats. He's getting picked way too much. Right,
there's really nothing he can do if he gets pulled. But his job is just to get everything off he can. I think Shell would also keep him alive long enough to be able to get... And it also help his team, right? Because his team, like, once he falls, who's going to protect them? Jerby... The idea would be circle protection, right? It's going to keep everyone alive. But Jerby's so far behind that he's just dying in his own circle of protection.
Jerby actually about 2,000 gold behind by himself.
Oh my god, I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Chronos, right? Like we talked about, there's almost no character in the game that can strike fear like Chronos can. Late game Chronos is the hardest hitting character in the game aside from Hunters. And then you also have to factor in that he hits towers harder than anyone else in the game. What are you going to do to stop him, right? Rewind at this point. It's an ability that's very hard to use in the end game, but when you're very far ahead and they can't burst you down in 0.5 seconds or up to a second, it's pretty easy for you to just go Beats, rewind, and here comes another stun.
Another thing, too, with that latest Gold Fury is we saw Uzi Wuzzy getting outfarmed by Awesome to the max, but now it's been completely reversed. Uzi Wuzzy is 2 levels ahead in about 500 gold, but Chris Pocket once again going in, gonna grab 3.
And he's gonna find Bacchus, guaranteed. That time at least gets the Intoxicate off, but once again, the Drunken Mess gonna fall asleep right in the middle of the lane. And Unique teleporting out of the fight there, and they're gonna push in. I don't know if they want to keep going for this one, but actually, no, never mind. There's 4 of them. Rush this down.
Yeah, and, you know, Jerby's going to juke that out, but keep going aggressive. Double tap hits, and he's going to fall before Circle Protection can even go off. Bronx Bombers, there's nothing he's going to be able to go. He needs to be careful not to get stunned. No, all right, he jukes it just inside.
That was the Chronos play that you're looking for. Dive into a tower, take 4 hits, bait out the CC, beads it, rewind, get the hell up out of there, and allow his team to get the kill and force the tower.
It wasn't just the CC. Jerby thought he was going to kill Jimmy. He's like, right, I'm so far behind, even if I die, I'm going to get this kill. But rewind, right? He doesn't have the burst after that. And meanwhile, Uzi Wuzzy has just been split pushing, grabs a second tower.
I thought Soulshiner was jumping over the wall to try to stop that. He lets it go. That's another 1,500 gold added to the coffers. Wow, look at this. Right off the deep end. 8,000 gold now in favor of Boogaloo with a 15,000 experience kicker with no level 20s.
You just look at it, right? Uzi Wuzzy, 2 levels ahead. Ukneek, 3 levels ahead. Jiminy, look, 5 levels ahead. Chris Pocket, 4 levels ahead. Vedium, dead even.
All right.
But he also got a quadra kill, right?
Look at that Frostbound Hammer. Look at that Frostbound Fatalis. There's nowhere to run from it. What do you do?
Take a lot of poke and then have to go back to base. Bronx Bomber actually could get caught. Oh, the rollout.
I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my hands.
I'm mad.
I don't think there's anything more sad in the game than watching Ares just in the air, like with his fist raised, with just nothing attached to it. He's like, guys, look.
Hey, you know what? It's kind of like bolster defensive, but on the positive. It's like, team, let's go. We got this, right? He's just like cheering everyone on.
The true Eagles rally.
There you go.
He's just, guys, everyone, just, we got this. But both the dual laners going to stay safe, just barely. Matty Pocket getting back with a little event, right? I mean, they don't get anything off that. They don't find medium, or rather Bronx Bombers. So they're looking strong. Just trying to keep afloat.
Gold Fury might be started here soon. And they're actually, I don't know if they caught him backing there, Bronx Bombers that is, but they look, yeah, okay, they're going to start it up. Jiminy Glick.
Matty can't even mess with this. I mean, if he gets pulled again. Oh, that was a beads. Regurgitate? Oh, they're so dead. Holy, that was such a beautiful amount of control. Uzi just played that so gorgeously, using the beads to bait Matty back into Jerby, jumps over both of them, and just drops the Hellfire down.
Soulstrider once again doing his split pushing thing, but they're not even going for gold. They're going to go for fire.
It's like, enjoy, man. Have fun with your couple hundred gold that you're each going to get. Oh, actually, you're going to get the Phoenix?
They're going to try, but Jiminy's going to back here. He's going to try and defend this. And yeah, they're not, they know they can't stop it. So that's going to be a Fire Giant. They like not to get the gold. Meanwhile, Bronx Bomber is going to try and solo Gold Fury. Awesome and Soulshiner need to be careful here not to get picked. They don't know where they're at, but if they are, oh, they're going to look to defend this.
And they're going to steal it. Oh my god, he stole it with the Anvil of Dawn.
Double tap in a single hit. That's going to take him out. Chris Pocket finds another kill.
Kevin.
It doesn't do that much damage.
Kevin, I have played somewhere in the neighborhood, in matchmaking, of like 6,000 games. I have played somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 customs. I have, maybe more.
Okay.
I have casted well over 1,000 games, and I have never seen an objective stolen with Anvil of Dawn before.
Well, now you have.
I have Fire Giant Gold Fury. I mean, that move at this level, it does like 400 damage.
It's not, like I said, it's not that much, right? But it was just it was literally just the exact timing it needed to be to secure that.
And even if Bronx didn't die there, that was the nail in the coffin, because you're so torn and beaten at this point. You're just like, God, we're losing everything. Fire Giant, we didn't get the Phoenix. Like, we're dying all over the place.
But we got Gold Fury.
But I'm going to get this Gold Fury, and then I lose it to Anvil of Dawn. I just be like, guys, like, can we just?
Honestly, that might be one of the few times. You know, in ranked, when stuff happens, that's just ridiculous. You just sit there, right? Even if you die, you just sit there like, really, bro? Just kill me.
Just fine.
I might have done that in a competitive game right there. I would just be like, seriously,
you would have gotten out of your chair again.
Hey, I killed Snoopy. Thank you very much. But no, the aggression coming out from Boogaloo here, they're just going to do what they like. This is the right decision. Take the towers, right? You're so far ahead. Take the safe towers, and then probably try and push up multiple waves. And yeah, that's what you actually see. Uzzy Wuzzy on the right lane. They're just going to be, we're going to push up every single wave and make it so you have to choose where to defend.
Well, they're going to choose to defend the left side here, it seems. They're going to try to rush this down. We get a Spirit Ball used to try to keep Uzzy honest, but another 1,500 gold and experience going to be good here to try to shut them down on the left side. Uzzy moving in here, blocked out by the Thor wall, but he's going to move in. Regurgitate is available. Should have at least 2 minions.
Magi's.
And no Bancroft's Talon.
She has Boots at 23 minutes, and that's her only damage item. Spirit Ball comes through. It's going to hit 1, but not do enough damage. Circle Protection does nothing, but Matty Pocket going to jump in the back line, hit 3.
Look at the pull. Guarantees once again onto Matty. He's going down. Unique in the back line as well. Oh, wow. Is Uzzy going to find another big swing? That's 4 down, and the F6 with Boogaloo looking incredible here in Game 3. Enemy once again on the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, you saw it at the end there. It just kind of spelled that game. And Isis, who has Magi's Blessing at 23 minutes and only Boots. It's just, there was nothing Jerby could do.
125 damage is what she had in that build, plus the vamp.
I liked the invade, but I liked Boogaloo's defense better, right? They knew it was coming.
See, the issue here is that you have the wall, right? And they all went around the wall at the same time as a group. So Ares just went right into the middle of it, said, I can't miss this. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the first blood here. Jerby and the boys are going to try to invade again, and then look at that. Chain, and then
just one more auto. It's going to finish it, and it went to Jiminy. I think that's the key, right? Chris Pocket could have just taken it, right? I mean, it wasn't up to him. He was just chained. But Jiminy having the train of thought to just go, turn, I need this kill. And Isis, who exceeds early, and Chronos, who is pretty weak early, it just completely reversed it. And then he was able to get another kill off of Uknik ganking.
So we're going to be going into Game 4 in just a minute here. We're going to take a short break. We're going to see which god Jerby decides to play for Game 4. Stick around. Enemy must win 2 in a row to keep their SPL dreams alive. Boogaloo needs 1 to close it out. Stick around.